If you're new here, I'm Mandy, a spiritual life coach, as well as the founder of Core, an amazing yoga and wellness app. And the topic of today's video is very near and dear to my heart, and it was a special request by a number of y'all. So I'm very happy and excited to dive in. Before we do, I just want to give a loving shout out of thanks to today's video sponsor, Muse. Muse is a brain sensory headband that I use every day during my meditations, as well as sometimes during my sleep hours. And it helps to track your brain activity, your calmness in your mind. It helps to track your heart rate, your body movement, and most significantly, recently, it also introduced the alpha state cognitive behavior tracker, which helps you to see how often and how high your alpha state is, which is very exciting because when we're in our alpha state, that is our heightened basically productivity state to be able to basically do different activities during our day. As a master manifester and conscious creator, this is also very exciting because alpha state is the prime time for us to be manifesting. We're in our top creative zone in that state. So I love using it for all of those reasons. It really has helped me to have a calmer mind, to improve my meditations, as well as to get better sleep. I just put it on during these activities, and then I turn on the Muse app. The Muse app is amazing as well. I have the app downloaded on my phone, and all I have to do is log in. And as you can see here, the Muse app is very easy to use. You just log in, it calibrates with your brain activity and the sensors in the headband. And then there's over 500 amazing meditations to choose from. And there's also sleep programs if that's the focus. They have a meditation quite literally for everyone on here. I'd highly recommend getting one. It's definitely one of the ways that I've been able to also help in the topic we're going to be discussing today, which is to regulate my nervous system through things like meditation. So if you guys want to join me in becoming a muser, I will put a special discount code link in the video description below. You can check that out. And if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to DM me on my social media at Mandy J. Ross. And without further ado, guys, let's get into today's video. So I do want to give a little trigger warning for anyone who's sensitive towards the topics of ED, BED, body dysmorphia, anything in that nature. This video may be triggering for you. However, if you are someone who is struggling with those same things, this video could also be a source of guidance and hope and inspiration and somewhat of a saving grace. So use your best discretion. I just like to give the trigger warning in case people are extra sensitive to those. So let's get into it, guys. So my intention with this video is to help to give you the guidance and tools that have helped me to develop a healthy relationship with food, a healthy relationship with my body, and to overcome things like body dysmorphia and body image issues, which I did suffer with in my teens and earlier in my life. It's been quite the journey, but I'm happy to say that I've manifested through both inspired action as well as completely changing my mindset. I have manifested my quote-unquote dream body, and I really feel so passionately about helping other, not just women, anyone in particular, develop a healthy relationship with food, to overcome things like binge eating and body image issues, including body dysmorphia. One of the reasons that compelled me to create this video was not just the request of y'all out there asking for it. I spent years prior to being a spiritual life coach as a health coach and as an instructor, and I can't tell you the number of people that I've come across, both professionally but also personally, who struggle with their relationship with food. You know, it's something that we all need to survive, but it really speaks volumes as to how people are using food as something to try and fill the void of what's really eating at them inside. And because I've overcome my own issues with it earlier in my life, as well as, coaching countless clients through this struggle as well, I really feel like it's a really important issue. And also, having just come out with my app Core, which is all about yoga and wellness, I really want to instill the principle of really loving and accepting who you are, not just in my app, but in my community as a whole. So the first big thing to note about anything to do with building a healthy relationship with food is, I'm going to interject with one thing. I see so much advice around binge eating in particular, around diet and fitness advice. And the thing is, diet and fitness definitely eventually plays a part in how to develop a healthy relationship with food. But the first and most important thing to note is that this is rooted in a mental issue. The root cause of having any sort of eating disorder or disordered eating is a mental issue. Now, I don't want you to blame yourself, but this is starting from beliefs that you hold within your subconscious, and it is a mindset to begin with. Now, I also want to say this is not something to beat yourself up over. You are the cause. However, you are also the solution. And that's a really big thing to, a little shot of truth juice, sometimes a big shot of truth juice for you to understand is this is all stemming from something within yourself. This is nothing to be ashamed about. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. You're definitely not alone in this journey, but you are causing yourself to have this belief around something outside of yourself that's actually an inside. So really important thing to understand about disordered eating patterns is that they are neurological. This is not something that you can just temporarily fix with a quick fix. This takes time, it takes effort, it takes repetitive actions and behaviors in order to bring about a resolution. So this is why a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with binge eating in particular, but a lot of anything to do with any sort of disordered eating, this is why you can't approach it with technical solutions, because you will continue to repeat the same neurological pathway patterns rather than instilling one tiny new little habit and expecting to just be cured of this. It doesn't work like that because we're dealing with a neurological issue. First thing you want to do is, aside from understanding what you're dealing with, is to discover the underlying emotional reasons why you have developed this relationship the way in which you have with food. This takes sitting down. I would suggest even take 20 minutes, sit with a pen and a journal, and write out all the current beliefs you have around yourself, around food, and around your body. I can guarantee if you do this exercise over and over, you will start to uncover and discover what has been eating away at you inside. Perhaps it's around you not feeling good enough. Perhaps it's around you having seen people around you with the same kind of disordered patterns of eating. Perhaps this ties back to someone calling you a name or something like that when you were younger. You will continue to write out your emotions until you get to the root cause of what is emotionally eating at you inside, and it'll start to make a lot more sense neurologically as to why you've developed these patterns and behaviors around food. Through this exercise, you should be able to discover the core wounds, fears, and beliefs that you have that are holding you back from making progress in your healthy eating. So the next puzzle piece or step in this process that's absolutely imperative for you to do is to focus on finding holistic practices that allow you to calm, soothe your body, and release excess energy that's physiologically and mentally making you feel anxious. One of the main reasons why people binge eat is because they're trying to fill a void inside, but what's happening physiologically is as soon as your body starts going into that fight or flight mode, they reach for food instead of self-soothing. So I'm gonna put a list right here with a handful of my favorite practices, but off the top of my head, as I mentioned earlier, meditation is one. I love EFT tapping, going for outdoor walks, shaking my body, somatic movement, yoga, Pilates, breath work, singing, dancing. I find personally a lot of the ones that physically get my body moving or shaking, especially like even something like a walk, or even EFT tapping, there's a lot of different EFT taps on YouTube and whatnot. These kind of things that help to actually physically move your body, I find personally the most helpful, because you're literally moving the excess energy around, you're releasing that energy. Things like meditation and breath work absolutely will help to calm your mind. So if you are having a tendency to feel really anxious, that can, you can marry both types of kind of slowing things down. But if you are someone who tends to be really hyper anxious, anxiety ridden, OCD type personality, I do personally find like exercise or movement practices to be the most helpful during those triggering moments. Another form of self-soothing practices that will literally start to transform the neural pathways in your brain, and like what I like to call using neuroscience to brainwash myself in a positive way, are things like affirmations, overnight sleep tracks, and/or affirmation tracks, subliminals. There are so many beautiful meditations or affirmation tracks on YouTube. I believe like audio players have them as well. There's a number of different channels even that just specialize in meditations. You can even look up, healing meditations. There's frequency music, subliminals. There's so much available. I have some guided meditations on my channel as well, so I can put the playlist for that. But honestly, guys, find ones that make you feel really good about positive body image, healing, anything like that is really beneficial. Sorry, I just saw a little lizard here. He's joining us for this video. It's so cute. Yeah, as positive self-talk, that's the other one I was going to mention, and mirror work. This can be really, really helpful, especially if you're someone who continuously beats yourself up about the way you look. I swear to God, by mirror work and positive self-talk affirmations, telling yourself that you look beautiful and/or I love and accept myself for who I really am. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am enough. I am perfect just the way I am. Phrases like this repetitively will actually start to improve your self-image, your self-worth, your confidence levels. It will quite literally change the neural pathways in your mind, and you'll start to see yourself as a very different version of yourself. It will literally start to change the way you look as well. Like for myself, for others, I've seen this firsthand, how powerful positive self-talk can be, mixed with the nervous system regulation, mixed with getting to the root cause emotionally of what's eating at you inside. And this is like a triple kind of marriage of success for this kind of neurological issue. So I did get a special request by a couple of the individuals who asked for this video to go over somewhat of a daily routine of what this could look like. I think each individual, each body, each mindset is very different. So you have to test this out, experiment, try out what works best for you, what feels good for your mind and body. Personally speaking, I would say I like to do sort of top heavy in my day of nervous system regulation techniques to set myself up for feeling and looking my best, to then go and be able to do the other things during my day afterwards. Now, some people are different. Some people just want to get up, go, do work, and then kind of take care of, the other things later. What this looks like for me, typically on an average day, would be, I love first thing in the morning when I wake up, I love to do a meditation using my Muse headband to see where all my brain activity levels are at, followed by a quick kind of light stretch. On my core app, actually, I created 9-minute-ish stretch sessions that are very simple, easy to follow. You can do them quickly in the morning. So I love to do a stretch session, even one from my app. After that, I usually love to do sort of the mirror work, affirmations along with my skincare. So I'm habit stacking at that point. I don't personally eat in the mornings. I just find for my body personally, I prefer to intermittent fast. Everybody has their own thing. Some people swear that's not for them. That's all good. I actually love to do cold therapy, but I don't do cold showers. I don't do an ice plunge. I take an ice cube, which is amazing for skin as well. And I take an ice cube and I go all the way over like my face with the ice. And I find that kind of kicks me into kicks me into gear a little bit to wake me up, but it's also really good for depuffing. I love to do gua sha. I love to do face yoga. I have some face yoga videos actually on my channel as well. So I like to do those self-care practices. And then throughout the rest of my day, you know, I obviously work out. I love doing Pilates in particular. I love going every day, I swear by going for an outdoor hot girl walk. That is one of my best sources of, I call it my outdoor therapy for my body, mind, and soul. Sometimes I'll do another meditation. I really love to intuitively eat at this point. I definitely don't want to go into diet in this video. That's not the intention at all. And in fact, I think that diet is something you have to personally experiment with. There's oodles and oodles and oodles of information online now. There's all sorts of diets per se. Diet is just what you put into your body. You have to experiment what feels best for you. If I've ever had any clients ask me when I was health coaching in particular about diet and nutrition, my number one question is, how do you feel? That's it. How do you feel? You really have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, how do you feel? And then also factor in what your health goals are. Is your diet supporting the way you feel to feel your best, but also to look your best? And also, is it optimizing your health? That's the other big one for me. I'm always thinking about prevention, which is also why I wanted to make this video and felt so passionately about it, because when you can really hone in on what's eating at you inside, because this has nothing to do with food. This has everything to do with how you love and accept yourself at the end of the day. You will be able to live with freedom. And to me, the biggest freedom of all is peace of mind. When you are not addressing what's really eating at you emotionally and mentally inside, I know what it feels like to be in that kind of prison, that, I hate to say the word, hell of having an unhealthy relationship with food. It will control every other aspect of your life, and it will eat away at every other area. There's a saying I heard once that said, your relationship to food is the same relationship you have to other things in your life. And when that hit me, the truth of that statement, it was like a ton of bricks, because it is honestly true. I don't want to see you or anyone to ever have to feel like there's no way out of this, because there absolutely is. I'm living proof. I'm a walking example that you can absolutely overcome an unhealthy relationship to food, to not only go on to have a body that you love, but to quite honestly learn to really love and accept yourself just the way you are, and to live a life that doesn't feel so constrained. So on one final loving note, I truly pray, if you are someone who is struggling with this right now, that you're able to figure out what is truly eating at you inside and uncover and discover all the ways that you can not only survive through this, but thrive through this as well. And I hope that this video acts as a source of inspiration and empowerment, that my success story has been able to give you even more hope that you will be able to overcome this. And also, there are so many resources, so many people so many countless stories of success in this area, and I really invite you to lean into all of those things to help you to overcome this as well. If I can do it, you absolutely can do it as well. And I feel like a weight has lifted off of me just by virtue, and I intend that this video helps you, helps to heal you, helps to remind you of your beauty and brilliance within, and that just you are able to flourish and blossom in this lifetime, because food can be such a beautiful thing. It can be such an enjoyable thing. It can be such a fuel for our bodies to really help us to look and feel our best. And the relationship we have with food is such an important one to really understand how to master, especially if you are someone who wants to thrive in this lifetime. So on that loving note, my loves, I want to give a final loving shout out of thanks to today's video sponsor yet again, the lovely Muse, my favorite brain sensory headband. If you guys want to join me in becoming a Muser, I will put a special discount code link in the video description below so y'all can check them out. And on this final touching note, for such a heartfelt video from my heart space to yours, if you did appreciate and enjoy today's video, please like, share with anyone that you feel would benefit from seeing today's video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to see my latest videos. And on that final loving note, my loves, I am wishing y'all, as always, a blessed and beautiful day out there.